Well, summer is here. If only we had a crystal ball to know whether we're going to have a wet or a dry summer. If only we knew. Hello, I'm Richard Parrish. I'm the County Extension Agent for Agriculture and Natural Resources in Leon County. And this discussion that we're about to have, well, it's not going to cover everything that needs to be done in regards to forage production in the months of June, July, and August, but it will cover some of the main things, some of the highlights that you need to consider that might need to be done during these summer months. So as we move into the summer, you want to continue following any soil fertility program that you have based upon a soil test recommendation, whether it be for grazing or for hay production. And as you follow that soil fertility program, hopefully you can time it right before a rain. So you want to continue following those fertilizations for your pastures in order to produce the best quality forage. If you are not on a year-round grazing program, continue to harvest that hay as you need it. Ideally, every 28 days will give you the best quality forage. And remember, quality forage is more important than quantity. It's much better to produce a high quality forage. You might not produce as much, but if you can produce a high quality forage, your livestock are going to get more out of it nutritionally, be better able to convert the nutrition in there and utilize it better than if you produced a low quality forage. So quality is much better than quantity. So keep that in mind as you are producing your forage. You might even consider purchasing a high quality hay from a reputable source and then graze the green grass that's on your land. This way, you are buying someone else's nutrients. They've fertilized their grass, they've harvested the grass for hay. You have their hay, so you're basically buying their nutrients, and you're going to be adding a large amount of those nutrients to your soil as the livestock eat that high quality hay, and it passes through their digestive system and comes out in the form of either fecal matter or urea in the form of urine. So if you can continue grazing and be able to purchase a high quality hay, that would be something to definitely consider during these summer months. Continue following a chemical weed control program to reduce the competition for soil nutrients, and then later chemical and fuel expenses. Chemical control of weed species in the long run is a whole lot cheaper than mowing, and you want to make sure for the most effective control of those weed species, you want to make sure that you treat those weeds at the correct stage of development for the best control of those weed species. Anytime you are using a chemical product for weed and brush control, make sure that you read and follow the directions on the chemical label. That chemical label is going to tell you exactly how much to mix. It's going to tell you when to apply or the conditions in which to apply that product. It's going to tell you in many cases what stage of plant growth development the weed species needs to be in for effective control. It's also going to tell you about weather conditions, when to apply in regards to weather. Don't apply if the wind speed is above a certain miles per hour. So make sure you read and follow the directions, the instructions on that chemical label, because those instructions on that chemical label, that label is the law. So make sure you follow that. So if you've purchased hay or if you have harvested hay, you want to make sure that you store that hay high and dry to reduce losses. If possible, store it off the ground, even if it's on maybe a layer of pallets or just somewhere, if you can, get it off the ground. And if you can, store that hay somewhere where it is covered, either under a barn or a pole barn, or even under a tarp if possible, because that hay that is protected from the elements, barn stored hay, will last indefinitely with very little loss of quality. So if you can store it in a barn, if you can store it up high, get a little air circulation to keep it from molding or getting wet and losing some of that nutrient value. So store it high, keep it dry. You're going to protect the investment of your hay indefinitely. And whether it be during the summer months or any time throughout the year, the local office of your Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service has resources to assist you in producing the best quality forage possible. Another excellent resource is the Forage Facts website, maintained by our Extension Forage specialist out of Overton. This site contains a wealth of information and resources regarding forage production. And all of the information on this site is free, so it's definitely a resource worth checking out. Or, as always, you can contact the Leon County office of the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service. So until next time, have a productive summer in regards to forage production.